Welcome to the dark side of innocence. What's your age? Where are you watching from? And what time is it there? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, buckle up. This isn't just true crime, it's a chilling exploration of the human psyche that will stay with you long after the video ends. In 1993, Liverpool became the stage for one of the most horrifying crimes in British history. Two 10-year-old boys, Robert Thompson and Jon Venables, committed an act that would horrify the nation. Their victim? A 2-year-old named James Bulger. On February 12th, James was shopping with his mother at a local mall when, in a fleeting moment of distraction, he disappeared. CCTV footage later revealed the chilling truth. Thompson and Venables had lured him away, convincing witnesses they were his brothers. What followed was hours of unimaginable cruelty. For nearly 3 hours, these boys dragged James across town, subjecting him to severe physical abuse. By the time they left his lifeless body on a railway track, an attempt to cover up their crime, he had suffered 42 separate injuries, including devastating head trauma from a 22-pound iron bar. When the case broke, Britain erupted in fury. How could two children commit such a monstrous act? And more importantly, how should society respond? Both boys were tried as adults, a decision that sparked fierce debates about juvenile justice. Were they victims of their environments, products of neglect and abuse, or were they inherently evil? At what point does accountability outweigh sympathy for troubled youth? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Decades before Thompson and Venables shocked the world, another young killer emerged from the shadows. Her name was Mary Bell, and she was only 11 years old when she committed not one, but 2 murders. Born into a household marked by neglect and abuse, Mary's early life was a recipe for disaster. Her mother reportedly despised her, often leaving her alone or subjecting her to emotional and physical harm. One particularly harrowing incident involved Mary being hospitalized after overdosing on her grandmother's medication, a cry for help that went largely ignored. On May 25, 1968, just days before her 11th birthday, Mary strangled a 4-year-old boy named Martin Brown in an abandoned building. Initially, his death was ruled an accident, but Mary's behavior afterward raised suspicion. She knocked on Martin's mother's door, asking to see him in his coffin. Later, she and a friend vandalized a nearby nursery school, leaving behind notes claiming responsibility for the murder. Phrases like, "I did murder," and "we killed Martin Brown," sent chills down investigators' spine. But Mary didn't stop there. Just 2 months later, she struck again, this time targeting 3-year-old Brian Howe. After strangling him, she mutilated his body with scissors, a detail that horrified even seasoned detectives. Experts who evaluated Mary described her as exhibiting psychopathic tendencies. Was she born evil, or was she shaped by the horrors of her upbringing? Can trauma truly explain or excuse such violence? These questions remain unanswered, but they force us to confront uncomfortable truths about the intersection of environment and innate behavior. Case N3, Catherine and Curtis Jones. Our final case takes us to Florida in 1999, where siblings Catherine and Curtis Jones made headlines as the youngest individuals ever tried as adults for first-degree murder in the United States. At just 13 and 12 years old, respectively, they shot and killed their father's girlfriend, Sonia Nicole Spetz. What drove them to commit such a violent act? According to court records, both children had endured years of severe abuse and neglect at the hands of a family member. When authorities failed to intervene despite multiple pleas for help, the siblings felt trapped and desperate. On January 6, 1999, Catherine and Curtis executed their plan. Armed with a 9mm handgun, they ambushed Spetz while she worked on a jigsaw puzzle. In the chaos that followed, they fired 9 shots, hitting her 4 times. Afterwards, they attempted to clean up the scene, dragging her body to the bathtub and wiping down the weapon to remove fingerprints. It was a chilling display of premeditation, especially considering their age. When arrested, the siblings confessed, but not without trying to protect each other. Catherine urged investigators to blame her entirely, while Curtis insisted he bore sole responsibility. Ultimately, both pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, receiving sentences of 18 years in prison, followed by lifetime probation. Unlike our previous cases, Catherine and Curtis's story ends on a somewhat hopeful note. Upon release, Curtis reportedly became an ordained minister, dedicating his life to helping others. Meanwhile, Catherine has turned her experience into advocacy work, mentoring at-risk youth and sharing her story as a cautionary tale. Their transformations remind us that even in the wake of tragedy, change is possible. These cases force us to grapple with difficult questions. How do we balance punishment with rehabilitation? Can we prevent tragedies like these by addressing root causes like abuse and neglect? And perhaps most importantly, how do we ensure vulnerable children receive the support they need before it's too late? If these stories resonated with you, if they made you think, question, or even feel outraged, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content like this. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your engagement helps keep conversations like these alive. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.